Hello, I'm Ryan Schoen, the President and CEO of Washington Analysis, a CFRA company. Washington Analysis has been around for nearly 50 years and is really a preeminent policy analysis firm providing policy analysis to institutional investors. We cover the waterfront of regulated sectors, including emerging technologies like that of crypto assets and cryptocurrencies. This week, just yesterday, we had the president unveil an executive order specific to crypto assets. This was a highly anticipated release, really the first time now that an administration has weighed in formally on crypto assets and the broader ecosystem. So today we'd like to just talk through some of the implications of that and where we see the policy world going around crypto. So this executive order was really aimed at kickstarting a broader conversation, a whole of government approach to regulating crypto tokens themselves, trading venues, addressing national security issues that are implicated by these technologies, consumer protection issues that are also implicated by these technologies. And in effect, we have the White House asking or directing nearly a dozen or so agencies to go to work and produce reports and recommendations that will really trickle out over the course of this year. They're somewhat backloaded in the fourth quarter of 2022, which will provide some nice holiday reading for everyone. A large part of what the White House is asking for here is to be spearheaded by the Treasury Department. There are a number of national security specific implications here and asks that are to be led by the Treasury Department. Janet Yellen, the Secretary of the Treasury, of course, would be directly involved, along with a team of analysts within the Treasury Department, coordinating across a lot of other agencies. There are quite a few in the way of anti-money laundering, Bank Secrecy Act, Patriot Act, know your customer kind of requirements that the agencies are being asked to explore and create recommendations around. There is a meaningful portion of this executive order dedicated to the concept of a potential digital dollar, an area that's gotten a lot of attention from lawmakers in Congress, from the Treasury Department, and increasingly from the Fed itself. There's an open question as to whether or not legislation is needed in order for a digital dollar to be issued by the Federal Reserve. And what we look at this executive order as doing is really twofold on the digital dollar front. One, it asks the Attorney General and other agencies to opine on whether or not legislation is in fact needed from a legal standpoint in order for the Fed to pursue the development of a digital dollar. And then two, depending on the answer to that question and that analysis, to basically propose legislative text if the answer is yes, and submit that to the president for consideration by Congress going forward. On a number of the other sort of hot button issues that emanate and questions that emanate from crypto, there's one area is notably largely absent from this executive order, and that is the question of whether or not tokens are in fact securities. This has been a debate that has really had the Securities and Exchange Commission and Commodity Futures Trading Commission has sort of been ground zero for that question, whether or not tokens are in fact securities or commodities. There's a general consensus around Bitcoin itself that is in fact a commodity, and there's very few that are actually arguing these days that Bitcoin should be treated as a security. But current Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler has basically been of the view and taken the public opinion, or the public position rather, that everything other than Bitcoin is potentially a security and therefore subject to SEC oversight and enforcement. That opens the door for a whole slew of public reporting requirements, disclosure requirements, most of which are aimed at enhancing investor protection, providing adequate disclosures to investors, retail namely, so that they're armed with enough information to make informed investment decisions. So in short, this executive order, in our view, really is aimed at kickstarting a much broader conversation. This is not going to be a quick, easy conversation to have. I think it is very safe to say that this will span beyond this term the Biden administration into whoever comes next, and very well may need to involve Congress being involved in the form of passing legislation or at minimum blessing certain actions such as those around the creation of a potential digital dollar, as I mentioned a moment ago. At Washington Analysis, we have a team of analysts that are tracking all of these developments. We've got a lot of thoughts about how regulators, legislators, and the courts are going to weigh in and shape this conversation and debate as it evolves. To learn more, go to washingtonanalysis.com. Thank you for your time.